Cool. All right. So I'm not sure. I don't know what happened last team call. I can't even think of like the days anymore. Oh, I was gone. But I wanted to officially congratulate Ashley Morris. She is a brand new diamond coach. Congratulations. And Shelby Elmgreen, she's a brand new emerald coach. She's a new coach. Does anybody else have any announcements you want to make? Just feel free to unmute yourself. Talia Emerald, congrats! Yeah, I don't know where my light's too bright. I'm new to this. I don't know where if Michelle's on here, but I know she got 2 emeralds. That's awesome. Congratulations. You know what's cool about Michelle is for a long time she was like kind of struggling to find business builders. So and she was just like kept doing like just giving her challengers love, which is kind of like our job, and just doing everything that she's supposed to, like posting about coaching, posting about the challenge groups. But she gives her challenge groups, which is awesome because Jatana's gonna talk about this, everything that she's got. So all of a sudden, like she has so many new business builders, all from her challengers, and they're all awesome because they've been with her for so long and they trust her. So that's pretty cool. That's how she just popped all those new emeralds. So if like the business side of things aren't working for you, if you just show your challengers all the love, which is our job anyway, it'll just happen. So if you guys just pop on, you guys can just like say your announcements in the chat. But all right, I'm excited for Jatana. So let's see, she's 10-star diamond, 4-time elite coach, jealous. Success Club legend, wife and mom. So you can just unmute yourself. Actually, I'm gonna do it for you, Jatana. There you go. You're good. You just go ahead.
Hey y'all, what's up? How are you? Am I getting started now?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. First off, you guys are so blessed to have such an incredible leader with Haley. I love watching her. She makes me laugh almost daily. And it's funny because look, this is my elite picture and I had pink hair. And I always said, like, how fun would it be to go pink and like make my hair pink? And then I saw this chick start showing up in, you know, Beachbody recognition, like, oh dang, she's got pink. It was a little like I'm copying her. I think it was Beachbody Champions page. And I was like, oh, it looks so good. Maybe one day I'll be brave enough. Like, we don't have to work corporate jobs, so we can make our hair pink and it don't matter, which is awesome. But thank you so much for letting me jump on your team call and for jumping on my team call tomorrow night. I just want to share a little bit about myself first to kind of level the playing field, and you know the accolades that Beachbody allows us to earn is awesome, but we all kind of start at the beginning where some of you might have or might be at right now, or you're going emerald, you're going diamond, and there's this long journey that's crazy and full of ebbs and flows, but you're part of an incredible group of people. I was going to say chicks because I didn't see dudes on here, but you're a part of an incredible team, and so they're along for you, or they're along with you on this ride, so you're not alone, which is kind of how my story began. I was a challenger naturally through an infomercial. I bought into Insanity. Actually, I bought into P90X, and I tried it. I put it on. I put that little pull-up bar thing on my doorway, and I put a chair underneath, and I was like, I'm using my legs more than I'm using my arms right now. This program sucks. I hate it. I don't ever want to do it again. I'm sorry if you're a P90Xers in here, but it was not my jam, and I needed a coach to tell me that, but I didn't have one at the time because I bought it off an infomercial, like nursing my baby in the middle of the night. So I went, and I was in the middle of the night. I saw another infomercial. It was Insanity, and I'm like, all right, hot dude doing cardio, cool, I can do that, that's cool. So I put on Facebook, it's funny, it shows up every year, does anybody own Insanity that I can borrow, because I'm not about to pay $60 for DVDs, like that's crazy. And so this lady messaged me and she's like, yeah, I've got it, you want to borrow it? I never gave it back to her. I still have it. I think she's probably my customer now. But I borrowed the DVDs, and I put them in, and if they ever tried Insanity, like, it sucks. It's fantastic, but it's hard. It's probably the hardest program I have ever done. To the point where it beats you down. It's like boot camp. Like they beat you down to the ground like the first 3 minutes, and you're like, I can't do this. And so I started and stopped a bazillion times. And so that's kind of why the reason why I want to tell you this story is because it's the core of why challenge groups are so important to me. So I had started to stop sitting on my basement floor. I'm pissed. I'm like, I can't do this, but I can. Like I physically can, but I mentally can't. And so it was very frustrating. And here I was, you know, with 2 kids. I had about 12, 15 pounds to lose, not even a lot of weight to lose. Most people would probably like, you're fine. Like, no, I'm not. I want to work out and I want to be toned and fit. I was a college cheerleader, so I knew that my body was capable of it. And so I got on my phone and I'm like researching Beachbody and Insanity. And there's all these coaches blogs because that was the thing back then. And I came across the message board. I was this chick like on the message boards. I don't even know if they still have it. It's very old. They don't. It's very old school. And so I found this woman. She had 2 kids and they were around the same age as mine. And she had before and after with Insanity. I was like, oh my gosh, please tell me what the heck you did to get through this program and get those results because I want those results. And I emailed her. Like that's really old school. So make sure you check your email for your leads and stuff. But I emailed her. We connected on Facebook and she said, let me put you in my challenge group. I don't even think she ever had me switch to her as a coach or her as my coach. And so I got about 7 weeks to Insanity and my body started to really transform. My mindset started to transform. I became an energetic mommy again with like a little one on my hip and a 2-year-old walking behind me. It was crazy. And inside me was going, oh my gosh, I got to tell everybody on the freaking planet about like, this is incredible what I have right here. And I was doing Shakeology. I was following the meal plan. And I was a part of this community, this challenge group. I didn't know what that was necessarily. I just knew I had a bunch of girlfriends in a Facebook group and we were all doing workouts together. And we could post sweaty selfies, which I quickly learned was kind of fun. I know I like selfies now, and I know Haley does too. Like she doesn't bash them anymore. So I fell in love with this whole group concept, and I was like, man, like there doesn't need to be another mom on this planet that needs to go through the struggles that I went through with my health, my fitness, and understanding like what my identity was as a new mom. And so fell in love with it naturally, organically. And said, I want to do this. So I messaged my coach one day who never once asked me if I wanted to coach because she was kind of, she didn't know what she was doing either. She just loved running challenge groups. And I said, I want to become a coach. And she's like, okay. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to become a coach now. Oh, wait, you're not my coach. How do I switch to you? Because she never made me switch to her, but she had done all this work. I was probably a free lead for somebody. Contact your free leads. And I switched over to her. Now, she never really ended up working the business, but I went to my very first summit, like 4 months into coaching. You guys go to summit. It's definitely business changing. It will change your mindset on this whole business and surround yourself by some incredible leaders. But I went to summit and I was sitting up in the nosebleeds and I was like, oh, there's I watch her on Facebook. Oh my gosh, look at their so-and-so. And like watching those people and I'm hearing all these stories. I'm like, there's nothing different about them that isn't like me. Like I can do that. I could be down there with my name on a freaking seat. I can. Haley's going to have her name on the seat. You're elite this year, right? Whoop, first time. Hey, that's awesome. Congratulations, team. Because it takes all of you guys to make that happen. But, yeah, so I dove into coaching after Summit and my business has it went from, as soon as I decided, it went from diamond. It took me 9 months to get a diamond. So if you guys are like struggling and you're wondering what's wrong, one, I didn't have any mentorship. So that's one reason why it took me a long time, but it happens. Like I just desired to grow this business organically through challenge groups. And so I've always hit Success Club. Not always 10. Now it's like crazy bananas, like 104. But it wasn't always 10. Sometimes it was like it's the end of the month and I need 2 more points and I wouldn't go to bed until I made it happen. But I'm supposed to talk to you guys about challenge group, but I want to lay the foundation because I was an organic challenger I fell in love with the process because of a challenge group, and that's why I built my business around challenge groups, because that's where I fell in love with it. It is the best place to have on-the-job training for your future coaches. And so what I want to show you, how I run them, how I train my coaches within them, and then how I keep them super engaging so that people aren't like, it's not like a flop group where it's really boring. My groups are popping every single month. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen. Some of the stuff you're in the beginning, you guys are already like balling with, because if you're, okay, you don't have to be organized or super talented. It's technology either. Don't pay attention to my desktop. It's terrible. I do have an assistant, so that helps my life out. Okay, I can't see you guys. Can you guys still see this, Haley?
I can see them, yeah.
Cool beans. All right, so there's not presentation mode. I'm just looking at PDF file, whatever. So I'm gonna go through these things, these quick points, and then I'm gonna really dig into the challenge group piece of it, because I think that some of this stuff has changed a little bit, and Haley like rocks it, and I'll point some of those pieces out. But when we get to the challenge group part, that's the part I want to focus on. But you definitely have to be understanding what your brand is when it comes to social media before you can even like invite to a challenge group. You got to understand who your peeps are, who you're talking to, who wants to be your wing girl in your accountability group. And so I'm very laser focused on the girl that I can speak and she gets me. Because when I speak on my social media, whether it's in stories or it's on your Facebook wall or your IG wall, I'm speaking to my chicks. And Haley has nailed that down to a T. So watch her, because she's genius at it. And then obviously being really your authentic self, it took me a while. It took me a good 3 years into coaching to truly understand who I was as a coach. And now I can just be my authentic self, and it's raw and real, and people love it. That's the number one compliment that I get is, I love your energy. And it's like, finally, I found my energy, because I didn't know what it was before, but I'm finally get there. So it takes some time. How to get your followers to turn into challengers. Challenge groups that get incredible results for your customers, and then turning your rock star challengers into rock star coaches. That's kind of the stuff that I'm going to go over. So obviously your personal brand, I feel like this has changed a little bit because we have such real-time social media now with stories. You know, you should be documenting your day and sharing bits and pieces of your fitness journey and your health journey and just your life in general, so people can fall in love with who you are as a person and that they want to come back. And I have a whole IG training, and I'm sure Haley does as well. But in terms of your social media, just make sure you're putting stuff out there that draws people. They start liking you for you. So I'm a Jeep chick. I'm married. I have kids. They're wild crazy. I post about them. I love makeup and eyelashes. Like, that's the number one question I get. What kind of eyelashes do you wear? Red cherry number 43. And Haley, I want to do your makeup sometime, because I saw your thing. Yes. Is that how you wear makeup? You just wear makeup for the first time or something? Yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh, that pink hair. I have so much fun doing your makeup. But I try to make sure that I'm putting content out there that is going to either explain who I am as a person and let them fall in love with who I am, or give them an insight into my world so they can be a part of it. So when I wear that little white dress at an event and summit, they're like, oh my gosh, I picked A too, and that's what she wore. So make sure you really present your brand consistently on all your social media platforms, so that when you go to invite to a challenge group, that person's like, I know her, even though she lives in Kansas and the other one lives in Virginia. Like, I feel like she's my girlfriend, and I really know her. So building that brand, super, super important. Here's a few ways you can do it. Obviously, what you saw above. I like to go live. I think going live is key, especially with Facebook, because Facebook, I feel like, is a little bit of a dud right now. Sorry, you're Zuckerberg or whatever your name is. You're not doing so well in that area, but Facebook definitely rewards live videos. I think that they realize it keeps eyes engaged on their app, and that's what they want. So I do a lot of Facebook Live, trying to add value to my audience. Like, I talk about my seasonal affective disorder, which is sad. It's just where I struggle with winter blues. So I talk about a lot about that during the winter. And then I do a lot of meal prepping and stuff on my Facebook page, and also makeup tutorials. So adding value outside of Beachbody, which people love because they share it. And then they also feel like they're getting something from your page. So they always want to come back to it. I want to get into the actual challenge group stuff. This is just me being all pretty. But anyways, one of my favorite quotes, I think it might have been Angie Lee that said it, but she probably got it from somebody else. So I don't know if I can quote anybody on this. When you know the conversation in your customer's head, you've won. And the reason why I love that is I feel like we forget that sometimes when we get onto social media and we start talking about our journey, or we start talking about challenge groups. We forget that what's really going to cause somebody to make a choice on whether or not they either want to follow you or whether or not they want to be in your group is that you've connected on a pain point that they might have. And that's typically the conversation that they lay in bed at night thinking about. Like in their head, they're going, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay that bill? Oh my gosh, I've got to wear a bathing suit in 2 weeks. Oh my goodness, like I literally have no community and no friends, and like my life sucks right now. I've had those thoughts in my head, so that's really why I'm saying it. But knowing those conversations in your customer's head, and they're probably the same conversations that you have had at some point, you've definitely won. And those pain points are the things that you need to be speaking out into the social media world so that people can hear it and emotionally respond, which is most decisions are made based on emotion, but can emotionally respond to your post and to your call to action. So things to consider. Time of year, obviously we're coming into vacation and wedding season. Summertime, you know, us mamas are going to be taking our kids to the pool. That's like a really bad term to like going poop, isn't it? Sorry. But we will. Like the other day I got my little pool application for our neighborhood. And I remember, and this is a pain point, I'll probably post about it tomorrow. Thank you. I'm going to post about that one. It actually is one of my examples because I do it every year. But I remember getting that darn pool application and going, there is no way I'm going to pay $475 for the summer to go to the pool. Like, it's just not my budget. It's not going to happen. To me, $475 5 years ago was a lot of money. And so, one, I didn't get the pool. I didn't get to pay for the pool. And two, I would always feel like, oh my gosh, like I'm already getting pool applications. It's like beginning of March and I am not even ready to put on a bathing suit right now. Like, I feel miserable. Heck no, it ain't happening. So 2 thoughts that went through my head with the pool application was the fact that I couldn't afford it, and 2, I wasn't ready for it. That's the kind of pain point that I'm talking about that people stress about. And so you need to be sharing those parts of your story that other people can relate to. So that's an example of a pain point that here it is right here. That's my pool application. So maybe I'll whip that bad boy out that's sitting in my mail stacker over there and post about it tomorrow, but just talking about the costs and how I couldn't afford it. And then also talking about the mom bod that I used to have, but now I'm in a place in my health and fitness journey where I'm able to confidently fill out that application and go, heck yeah, I'm ready. I might wear a full piece because it's hot and red, but I'm ready and I'm confident in my own skin. Another thing that's a pain point, a conversation you might have had, and I know that I personally had it. And the reason why I'm talking about these things is because I build my challenge groups around these pain points. I don't just say, join my spring into fitness. Sorry if that's what you named yours. I try not to name things like that because that's what everybody else does. I want to really focus on what's going to make people respond. And so that's why I'm laying this foundation for you. But loneliness, that was a battle of mine. I was a stay-at-home mom in Northern Virginia where people obviously don't like relationships. Like, they don't talk to you. Neighbors don't talk to you. It's crazy. So I battled loneliness as a stay-at-home mom. And that's something that challenge groups did for me. That's something that coaching did for me. It filled a void in my life that was very present. So that's something that I talk on as well in terms of pain point. And then just the financial side. I mean, you might have a whole array of financial successes with this business. It could be $40 from your first challenge pack sold to, you're making $1,000+ a month. Those successes are little things that you should be sharing on your social media, because for me, I'm a 6-figure earner now, so it's looks totally different. And I try to always remember and tap back into that moment when I was like, I could go buy a Coach purse. I remember I used to go look in the Coach store and be like, there is no way I'm paying $95 and it's 30% off, like $95 after 30% off. There's no way I was ever going to do that. And now it's something that I like gift my coaches. So that's stuff that you should be sharing, those little successes. If you went on Valentine's and had a beautiful dinner with your spouse, that's something that you should be sharing, because it's a win for your business and it plants that seed for coaching. All right, so let's get into like how I lay down the foundations and how I slay some Success Club points in like 24 hours. I always hit Success Club 10 in 2 days. And it's funny, like when my challenge group starts, I have 0 points until I do my call to action, and then everybody orders all at one time. It's amazing. But it does cause a little frantic that 48 hours where everybody's ordering. So I'm turning my followers to challengers, because I have been posting about these pain points I talked about earlier, pain points that were very near and dear to me and things that I struggled with. So I have breadcrumbed that, and I have jabbed, or whatever you want to call it, all throughout my social media, whether it's on stories or it's on IG, it's on Facebook. I'm jabbing that content 2 weeks leading up to my call to action, so that when my call to action comes, they're like, I get it. Yes, she's been talking about that. I get it. I feel it. I've experienced it. Like, Jatana, please, for goodness sake, help me solve that problem. And that's where I come in with my challenge group experience. These are just some quick things that I use for my cover photos. I always like to put in little tips. I love Canva. That's how this presentation was made. Clipping Magic. I know PicMonkey's kind of old school. We used that back in the day to make the coolest graphics. But Clipping Magic, you can actually clip out. This is my coach Afton with the brown hair. Clip that out in like 15 seconds. I'm like, what? It used to be like you sit there and edge it out and you still look like a freak show trying to edge yourself out of a picture. So if you don't have Clipping Magic is pretty amazing. And then Canva obviously is a fantastic tool to use to make really fun cover photos for your challenge groups. But these were just some examples that we had from the past. So
Jatana, where do you put those cover photos? Like on your Facebook, you're saying?
I put them on the top of the group. I mean, I can use them as a part of a post, but honestly, those kind of call to action posts don't get me a lot of traction.
Yeah. So you're saying in your challenge group, and do you usually use the tracker or no?
I'm finding that I'm needing to now, because the more that I'm doing business on IG, I'm noticing a lot of people don't have Facebook, and I'm like, well, shoot.
Yeah, I used to not do it. Now I need to, because I need to, it's so easy to track people now that way. But
yeah,
cool. Thank
yeah.
you.
But this is going to be all, what I'm going over here is going to be run mainly on Facebook, which is still where I'm at. And it's working. Like, I'm not going to change it up, but I definitely need to keep my eyes open, because a lot of people on IG have given up on Facebook and they don't have it anymore. So my challenge group sneak peek is what I call it. I treat it like a coaching sneak peek. I basically will share, what they're going to get out of the group. I definitely go live and share my story. I have this story that I feel like I beat a dead horse saying it, but it gets me emotional every time I go to share it. So not to give you the full story, but what I want to make sure you do when you do a sneak peek to a challenge group is you go live in there with all of your prospects, people who have expressed interest, people you've had conversations with. You're like, let me put you into my, whatever you want to call it. This was Motivated Mama, where I was getting people organized in April, where we were doing some spring cleaning stuff and some to-do lists, but I was getting them into my sneak peek. And so I went live in front of however many people, there were 71 people in there, and told my story. And my story involves me talking about picking up my kids, going to my couch, putting one to bed, the other one's playing on the floor, and I'm watching Good Morning America, and I'm eating Chick-fil-A, and I literally did that like 4 days a week. And that was my jam. I was gaining weight, compounding it over time, and filling my brain with a bunch of junk and feeling absolutely miserable. And when I tell that story full on from beginning to end, like I end up probably crying most of the time through it, but they feel it and they're all responding and they're like, oh my gosh, that's me. That's where I'm at now. So make sure you go live in your challenge group and share from your heart what this journey has done for you and what you expect to give to them. So this is one group that this is one group that I did called Motivated Mamas. Maybe it's an idea you could use in April. There's an app called Motivated Mama or Motivated Moms, I think it's what it's called. And it's a like house cleaning app where like every day it gives you a different task on what you could do around your house to make sure your house is always maintained. And so I incorporated that list that literally was already created in this app along with our health and fitness. And so we plugged in, get your workout in on the to-do list that's already, because it lets you add stuff to it. Drink your Shakeology. And so I formulated a challenge group around that concept, but I had jabbed all the way through about the things that I kind of suck at getting done throughout the day or the piles of laundry that I have. So I was plugging that on my social media all the way leading up to my final call to action and start adding my prospects to this group. I go live in there. I share my before and after picture. For sure, if this is going to be a little tough love, but if you've been doing this business for more than 6 months and you don't have before and after picture of some sort of like, oh my gosh, there's a problem. Like that's what we're in this business for. We're in this business because we're showing people that this works. And I have a lot of coaches on my team and I tell them this all the time, like your business, your body, the way it's changing is your biggest asset. And you can never stop moving towards making yourself better. So like I said, if you're doing this business for 6 months and you haven't seen much changes, you might want to start focusing more on your fitness journey, not letting the business go, but definitely make sure that the fitness journey, yours, is a priority. So I share my before and after picture. That's the next thing I do. So I go live, share my before and after picture. This is in a span of maybe 3 days. Here's me going live. Obviously, this is a really old video because I chopped my hair off. Actually, that's hair extensions. Let's just be real. It really wasn't that long. But that's me telling my story, and I try not to make it super professional. I don't want them to feel intimidated that they're a part of this like orchestrated thing, but that I'm just a real chick at home doing it, and I'm sharing my heart with them. So go live. And I share specific dates, too, of when the order by date is. So here's my old call to action. I need to change this because now we obviously have BOD, and there's different variations of BOD that people can get, but you could use this exact same template, just pop in the newer links that you would do. But all my prospects are in here. I've shown my before and after picture. I breadcrumb like crazy. So these ladies, they know what I'm in, why I'm in this, and they know what this group is going to be about because I went live. I shared my story, a heartfelt story. And now I'm like, all right, ladies, it's time to go. Like, it's go time. I need you to have all of your orders in by, I don't know what the date was to say it on there. I didn't say it on there. But now I'll say, our group closes officially on February 19th at 8 p.m. So everybody needs to have their goodies ordered. That's always what I say before then. And I list out like what they're going to get out of it. And obviously this will look a little bit different now with BOD. But this is kind of the response that I get every single month. I posted this on November 6th. And November 6th, I got Ashley, Kim, Jennifer, Beth, Melanie. So that's Success Club 10. These are all challenge packs. And then on the 8th, I got Andrea, Peggy, and Tracy. That's 3 more. And Taylor, and so it kept going on. I think I ended in 9 days at SC26. And there's something about this, and I like to call it the fear of missing out, the hashtag FOMO, and also the power of positive peer pressure. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that video on YouTube. It's kind of a creepy video, but there's a guy, and he's like at like Lollapalooza or some sort of outdoor concert setup, and he's a little hippie-ish, and he's like in the middle of the field, and he's dancing. He's all by himself, and he looks like he's high on something. So he's out there dancing, and he looks like a weirdo. Then all of a sudden, another person gets up and started dancing with him. And there's 2 weirdos out there dancing. Before you know it, like 4 or 5 more people get up. And then by the end of the video, there's like 30 to 40 people out there dancing. And no longer does that one guy look like a weirdo. Well, that is the power of positive peer pressure. And that's what I feel like this concept does. Because one person starts to join, and then it's like a trickle effect of people not wanting to miss out and not go, oh my gosh, I'm not the only fool that wants to actually do this and paid money to do it. These other chicks are going to be doing it with me. And then I slay it again with another list of names. And every single time I do this list, like I just put my list out yesterday for my current challenge group. And every single time somebody will post at the bottom and they'll say, wait, I'm ordering tonight. Please don't take me out of the group. I'm ordering tonight. And so more challenge packs come in that way. And you guys are probably gonna have questions about like how you duplicate this with your coaches and things like that, and I can answer that in a bit. And then I do a welcome message, some basic rules to the group that I want them to participate, that it should be engaging and welcoming and friendly and fun. And then I ask them to post their picture below so that I can create this team collage of what this Motivated Mamas group is gonna be, or who's gonna be in this Motivated Mamas group. So this is an example of a collage. It's super cheesy, like old school, but you got to remember not everybody's in Beachbody world, and they absolutely love this. So I create the collage. I obviously say, if you're going to post your picture below, please know I'm going to use it in my image. So you got to be okay with me using your image on social media. And then I tag all of them in it, and I always say, you know, I give them a shout out. I'm like, you guys see somebody on this picture? In about 30 days, like we're just going to overhaul their health and fitness journey, and we're going to on a journey together. And so what this does typically is creates either referrals for me, or it starts getting eyes on them. And then sometimes you post it, and like, there was one on here, Summer, one of my now coaches, has all these comments on her page because I tagged her in it. And it's like, woohoo, go Summer. Summer, you're going to rock this Summer. You're so amazing. Oh my gosh, Summer, tell me more. And I'm like, dang, Summer needs to be a coach. And I didn't realize it because I didn't realize the impression that she had already had, or the impression she had already had on her social media page. So Summer became a coach like right then and there. We went ahead and converted her over to it. She had sold 2 challenge packs in the process, and her 2 friends joined in on the group. But that is a way to create referrals, and it's also to see who could be your potential coaches based on their already influential type personality on social media. Then I have this spreadsheet that I use that I created a long time ago, and it's without fail been amazing every single time. And I pin it to the top of my challenge group. My legs are like sweating. It all of a sudden got hot in Virginia, which is amazing, and I love it. But it's hot in here right now. But I have this spreadsheet. I can give it to Haley. You guys feel free to use it or duplicate it or whatever you want to do, rearrange it. But I have all my challengers take their before pictures. They get points for that. They get points for completing the daily tasks. My daily tasks are very simple, like tell me your favorite inspirational quote and why. What's your favorite workout song? Do a random act of kindness and tell everybody what you did today. Go buy yourself something really cool that's going to encourage you on your fitness journey, whether it's shoes or in your tank top at Target, whatever it is. But those are like the daily tasks that I put in the group. And they get a point for completing that. They get a point for doing their workout and posting a sweaty selfie. They get a point for drinking their Shakeology. And I think I've changed it now where they have to tell us what the recipe was that day. And then I also give them bonus points for tagging me. And it's so funny. I go to my Facebook and I get tagged in like 76 posts. And they don't always go on my wall. But I love that my name is out there on everybody's pages. But I specifically ask them to tag me on Beachbody fan pages. So they will go on the 21 Day Fix, so 80-Day Obsession fan page, and they'll say, oh my gosh, I've lost 5 pounds this week in Jatana Jackson's Motivated Mamas group. It's so amazing. She's an incredible coach. And that creates more traction for my page. So that's an awesome tool that you can use to keep people engaged and to make it fun. And then at the end of this, I just tally all the points. They can see it because they add their points themselves. And they're like diehard add their points themselves. Like they're like, no, I have 42 points. Like correct me if I added up wrong. But yeah, so this keeps them engaged. They love it. And then I give away like an Etsy water bottle with their name on it or something, and they love it, and send it off to them. So this tracker I can give to you, and you guys can use that. But this is kind of an example of how it creates traction for my own page. But can you imagine if your challengers wrote this on their wall? You've seen me all at 5 a.m., my 5 a.m. fitness photos. That's all thanks to a fitness challenge group I'm in. It's being run by Jatana Jackson, and it's really keeping me on track. It's a small and intimate group. We're actually chatting and sharing. It's not just posting selfies. I even get to brag about my awesome, I don't know what this circuit sticker skills means, but yeah. If you get a chance to be in one of Jatana's groups, do it. You'll make friends, get tips, and have ultimate support. Heck yeah. Please post that on your page, right? So my challenger posts that on her page. I obviously allowed it to be on my page because it's more credibility for even my followers to see that. Another one, day-to-day life can be so busy, and as parents, we often forget about taking care of ourselves. With that said, it is so great reaching my goals with other like-minded ladies and being held accountable for my workouts and nutrition. Thank you, Jatana Jackson, for creating an awesome challenge group and helping us reach our personal goals. Like those are customers writing that. So that's an incredible way to, like I said, build credibility on your page, along with get some new traffic, some new eyes on you from their friends. So that's one of the challenges I do. And then at the very end, these are 30-day groups. They can do any program they want to do. I do have an 80-day obsession exclusive group. When new products come out, I do a complete group based on just that one particular program. But every 30 days, I'm always hosting a new group. They're always focused around a concept. They always have a 2-week lead up where I'm jabbing around that particular concept. And it allows myself and it allows my coaches to always have something to drive towards so that Success Club is always happening. And those jabs that I talked about earlier are like seamless on stories. Like they're so easy to do as opposed to like writing out a long post. And then at the very end, I post 3 options for them. It's usually when we have like 7 days left and they're kind of freaking out, like, what are we going to do next? Don't leave me hanging. I let them know they can join my next 30-day group. They get 2 rounds of my 30-day groups until they get put into my VIP group, which is where all my challengers are. So they can join my next 30-day group if it's their first time. They can join my VIP group, which is all of my veteran challengers and loyal customers. Or 3, they can click on this group that's a sneak peek of coaching, and it has all of my coaching videos where I explain what coaching is and my coaches explain what coaching is in there. And so they can just jump in there and go take a look around. And then at the end, whoever asked to join, because they obviously have to ask to join, I can see their name. I write them down, and I'm like, oh, Tammy, I saw you asked to join the sneak peek into coaching. What did you think? Did you have any questions that I can answer? So that I'm always giving that option to all of my challengers. Now, granted, through a challenge group, I'm constantly saying things like, girl, you are rocking it. You are a future coach. Like, I can't wait to have you on my team. You're such an inspiration. You're such a leader in this group. I'm constantly feeding my challengers, and only the ones that I really feel that way about, because I'm not going to unauthentically invite them into coaching if I feel like they still need to really focus on themselves, or maybe they're not participating at all. But my Rockstar challengers, I'm definitely planting the seed of confidence that they could totally be a coach as well. And then obviously these Rockstar challengers, they can become Rockstar coaches. These are all 3 of these are Star Diamond coaches now who started out as complete challengers and customers, just like I did. But if you focus on attracting people who relate to you and your story, it makes it really seamless. Run amazing challenge groups where you're all in with them. Help them get amazing results, which is what our jobs are. And then always share the coaching opportunity, because you never know whose life could change this whole process. But that is kind of like in a nutshell. How do I get, I don't want to go there. I need to get back to you guys. Hold on a second. Zoom. Stop the screen share. Terrible desktop. There we are. Hi.
Wow. That was so awesome. I have to like rewatch this a couple more times. I want to like not copy, but do what you do basically. So quick question. And then you can either read or I can read those questions, or you guys can just unmute yourself whenever. But so obviously you have some type of like system on when you start sharing things. And so your sneak peek into the challenge groups, that's obviously every month. And is it the same time every month?
Yeah, so the first Monday of the month is the day that we start. So that means my Success Club points come from that challenge group because they all ordered at the end of the last month. So I have my dates right in front of me. Basically, I have the start date, and then the week before is my order by date. So they're all in there. I've done the plug away on, my live video and my before and after picture. And then I let them know with the call to action, and then people start ordering over a period of like 2 or 3 days. And then my final, hey, on the 12th, you need to order. And it's always the Monday after, or Monday before the start date. Sorry, because that was really confusing. And then prior to the call to action, 2 weeks prior, I am breadcrumbing a concept that is based around what my challenge group is going to be about.
So do you always keep the sneak peek the same? You just like delete the videos and stuff and just...
I go live like authentically every single time. I feel like they'll feel that vibe too. And if it's recorded, they're just like, I'm just being sold.
Yeah. And that's awesome. Then you do the challenge group right after, and then I'm guessing you talk about coaching for the rest of the month or something.
Yep. Yeah, and I'll do a sneak peek to coaching at the end of every challenge group so that they can join in and take a look at it, or you can even create a sneak peek that's always there that you can fall into. But I always will do some sort of a Zoom call or something where I'm going to talk about coaching at the end of each challenge group, so I have something to invite them to.
I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to get up so early tomorrow and do so much work. Thank you. You guys have any questions? I think there was some in the chat. Hold on.
Yep. What happens in your So a VIP group, these are chicks that have been with me for over the 5 years, some of them. And they love Beachbody. They all converted to BOD when that happened. So it's my group where I hold myself accountable. So I'm very present in there. I don't just leave them high and dry. That's like my challenge group. And then I post that same post into the current running one. That's the 30-day one. I go live in there. I try to give myself 2 or 3 days a week where I'm going live. And it could be about mindset. Like if I learned something on my PD, it could be about a recipe that I made. I just made brownies. Like I went live in my VIP group about my chickpea brownies that apparently give you lots of gas. That's what they all said. Fun. Stay away from me. Making sure you're going live in the VIP group, sharing recipes, sharing your own health and fitness journey, and just being really present there. Like don't ever make them feel like you just left them in a group.
Yeah. Your months must like fly by.
It does. I'm like, oh my God. And that's the other thing is just go ahead and come up with themes for the next 4 months.
Yeah. That's what I need to do. I'm always right before a couple of days, I'm like, what should we name it? That's so stupid because you could, like you said, you whatever the theme is, you talk about it.
So and because it clicks in their brain. And now I've come to a point in my business, and you guys will be there, or if you're not already there, on stories, I can just I'm starting a group. They're like, okay.
Yeah.
Because there does come a point where you don't even need a concept. They're in. So because you've been so consistent.
Yeah.
But this will help those Emerald coaches who are really trying to build the momentum to always have a concept that they're pushing towards.
Awesome. Does anybody else have any questions? I feel like I have a million, but
I do have one question.
Cool.
When you were saying that you have people tag you in pictures, was that one of the daily tasks that you did and for them to earn a point? Okay, that's really genius.
That's my favorite one. So I've experimented with that one because that's the one where I get the most bang for my buck kind of thing. I have done it at the end, but I found that people have dwindled off some. So I use it on day 6 or day 12 of the challenge, and I'm going to get more people posting, and they're all posting it on their wall, and then they're tagging me in it. So if you see on day 12 on my Facebook page, it'll all of a sudden like 20 people have written these like beautiful bios about how much they love my group. And I'm like, yeah.
So
That's awesome. Thank you.
I'm sure I think I know the answer to this one, but do you ever like actually close your group, or do you allow people in there?
Oh, okay. So I do close it out. So what I have my assistant has a system, but there's a system in place. So we keep all of the people who purchased or they borrowed it from their friend. I don't care. As long as they have a profile with me and they're doing a Beachbody program, I'm going to help them. Even if they're not doing Shakeology, I'm still going to help them because they might be the next Melanie Mitro. And heck yeah, like I'm going to help them get results, right? Then I take everybody out and my assistant puts them into Excel spreadsheet and puts, like Haley Christian, Slay the Day group, chose not to join. Like tells me everybody of what group, what month it was, and that they didn't join. So I have a constant follow-up list. So if there's ever a point where I'm like, I need something. Like I'm in Team Cup. I need a lot of points. Hey, Haley, I remember you were part of my Slay the Day group. Oh my gosh, girlfriend, like you would love my next, whatever it's called. Slay the Day, by the way, was focused around Miracle Morning because Miracle Morning's like cheese ball. I could never call a group Miracle Morning. So I called it, sorry if you called your group Miracle Morning, but I called it Slay the Day. And
I love that. But I'm saying so do you know how people always say, oh, I have 3 more spots left or something like that? Do you always still let people in your groups?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think I already know that. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you got to build the scarcity feeling, get people to make a decision. Yeah. But I do have a deadline. And I might give like a 24-hour break, but I want everybody to have their stuff and I want us all starting on a certain day together. And I want to give myself the credibility of, you know what, this is my group and we're going to do this and I need people that are serious. And if you're choosing not to and you're going to tell me 3 days later, well, then we need to figure out another option. Obviously, the next group, because this group is closed. So.
I love it. All right, anybody else?
Any questions? Hopefully that helped you guys.
I have a question.
Okay.
For people that are wanting to join your group and stuff and they say they just want the workouts, do you ever talk to them about the benefits of Shakeology, or just kind of how do you approach that, people? Because I get a lot of pushback about that, and people that are like, well, I'm not a shake person, and I'm like, well, what does that mean?
Yeah. I think I haven't had much of that happen since the Bod Challenge Pack came out, because it's like seriously, $160? It's crazy. I would have paid $500 for it, for the year's worth of fitness, for real. But I think that the more you're consistent with, I have it's called Sexy Mama Shake. That's my brand for Shakeology. And so I talk about it every single day. And my people know, and this is the real talk that I'll have with them. Listen, you want to join my challenge group, right? You know that you want to do T25 or whatever you have your eyes or your heart set on. You want to get amazing results, and the thing that I can guarantee is the formula that I use. And what I use is I use my Energize, because you can display your workout. I drink my Shakeology every day. That's my Sexy Mama Shake that you see in my stories every single day. So I don't really get a lot of pushback with that. But if I do get somebody that doesn't want to do it, I will let them in. I will love on them and help them get results. And they will be exposed to Shakeology like crazy in the challenge groups. They always end up doing it. I don't know if that answers your question. If I get pushback, usually the pushback is I am allergic to stevia or something crazy.
No, that helps a lot. Thank you.
Yep.
Cool.
What else?
I think that's it, right? I loved what you wrote. I loved live out loud on social media. I love that so much. I do that anyways, but I was really cool reading that. I'm like, yes. New hashtag, live out loud.
Live out loud. Be your authentic self. Embrace your weirdness.
Yes, that's what I always say. This helps more than you'll ever know. So thank you so much. I'll send you a message in a little while, but we so appreciate you. Thank you again.
Absolutely. All right, you guys have a rockin' week.
You too. Bye, girl. Thank you.
Bye.